Hello, my name's BMO and I'm kind of new to the World of Warcraft community because I've been making content. I can't even say a lot of content because I'm a fairly new YouTuber in general, but I was making content for Final Fantasy XIV, and so you can kind of call me a Final Fantasy XIV refugee because I've abandoned that post and come over to the World of Warcraft community. That being said, I want to start it off with something simple like ranking the trading post items. And I know I'm a little late to this, and I know we got the WoW anniversary coming up and all this cool stuff that I got to catch up on, but I wanted to start out with a simple video and just kind of describe what I think of the trading post items, because every time I've seen them in the past, I'm not brand new to WoW, totally. I have thought like, man, this one kind of sucks, or this one's pretty good. So I don't even really have a good ranking system for this, but I want to let you guys know what I think about the trading post items right now while they're still fairly new. This is only September 5th. So yeah, let's go into it and I'll tell you what I think of it and hope you enjoy the video. So the first one is the Plunder Lord's Golden Crocolis. This is going to be the reward that you get after completing the Traveler's Log, and it's super cool because I've never seen a skin like this, so I feel like this is a brand new type of mount. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but the cool thing about this one is that it's a crocodile with gold all over it. It's very much pirate themed. It has swords in the back. It has gold falling off of it. But coolest part of all is it has 6 legs, dude. Like, what in the... I've never seen a croc with 6 legs. You seen a croc with 6 legs? I've never seen a croc with 6 legs. So that alone makes it a 10 out of 10 for me. So I think what I'm going to do is just rate these 10 out of 10. That way I kind of have an idea of where I'm at. I was going to go with like a S tier down to F tier kind of thing, but I think 10 out of 10 is pretty decent to work with. So moving right along, we have the Ensemble Plunder Lord's Radiant Finery, which is pretty cool because we do get a pirate themed style mount in the Crocolisk, but I'm not really sure if I would have picked this yellow theme tint to go with it. Other than that, it is pretty cool. I would have picked more like red and dark grays or something, maybe even some browns, but yellow, not really my thing, but you know, to each their own. The boots, they are, you know, well, just look at them. But the rest of the outfit with the patch on the eye and all that good stuff, I think it's a pretty solid 9 out of 10. I would not spend 750 trader coins on it, but maybe 500. Either way, still 9 out of 10. I like it. Moving on to our next item is the Keg Legs Radiant Crocolis, which is basically just a reskin of the Traveler's Log reward, and I think this is amazing. And the reason why I think it's amazing is because the more mounts, the better. So is this worth 600 trader coins? Absolutely. I would have paid 1,000 for this, to be honest. Keg Legs Radiant Crocolis is just 10 out of 10 all the way through. I can't have enough mounts. I could just eat up mounts for days like Oreos and dipping them in my milk, and I'm gonna go ahead and stop there. But yeah, Crocolis, get it. It's great. I honestly, this should have been 750 and the ensemble should have been 600 in my opinion. I have no idea why they thought this mount was worth less than the ensemble. You know what I mean? I just definitely, wow. Yeah. All right, number 3 we have on the list is Claudius, and this little dude looks pretty sweet, I'd say. He looks pretty cool. He has some beady looking eyes and some golden freaking claws, and well, you know, for 330 trader coins, like I would do it. You know, maybe not. If I didn't have a lot of trader coins, I probably wouldn't do it because I don't care about pets as much as I like mounts. I'm not gonna lie to you, but he is pretty cool. He looks very unique to me, and for that, I'll give him a solid 5 out of 10. All right, so coming in at 300 tender, we have the Green Brewfest Bulwark, and this is basically an offhand shield. It's not basically an offhand shield, it is an offhand shield, but it has a really cool beer krug in it, and I say beer krug because I lived in Germany for a little while, and it looks exactly like that. This is basically for our drunken paladins that want to let everybody know that drinking is not enough, and at 300 tender coins, I would pay in the 300 tender coin range-ish, you know, between 300 and 330, I would probably buy this shield over our little Claudius. No offense, Claudius, but this shield and beer thing is just, you know, it's just really good, and it's screaming my name, so I'm not a drunk, I'm just saying. But yeah, this is really, really cool. I would definitely buy this one for 300. And I'd give this one a solid 7.5 out of 10, so, you know, tell you where I stand. Next up, we got the Alchemist Bandolier, and I think at first glance it probably looks a little underwhelming, but when you start thinking about the type of transmogs that you can use with it, especially if you're like an alchemist and going with some kind of like, you know, crazy alchemist look, then this would be a really cool addition to that set, giving this a solid 6.5 out of 10, I think. All right, next up, we got the Blade Master's Lively Stones, and this is coming in at 200 tenders. This really reminds me of those 1 beads from Street Fighter Akuma beads. And if you were thinking something else, something's wrong with you. But yeah, green Akuma beads, basically, I like them. I would put them in almost the exact kind of transmog that you would want to do to look like Akuma, in my opinion. So some kind of like Asian persuasion kind of deal. But I like them, and I think for 200 tender coins, I would definitely get them. And that kind of bumps up the rating on this, I think, a little bit, putting it a solid 7.5 out of 10 as well. All right, next up, we got the Frenzied Hat of the Murky Waters, and stuff like this I always really like because it's super quirky, kind of dumb, but fun to wear at the same time. And at 175 tender coins, like, as long as it's not your last 175, why not spend it on something cool like this? I wish the little band of yellow was a little bit different color. Like I don't know, I think blue or maybe red would have looked better, but the overall theme of the hat is just really goofy. So, you know, let's give this one a 6 out of 10, I think. And of course, the theme wouldn't be complete if we left out our casters. So here we are with the Plunderlord's Radiant Sigil. And this one's really cool because it does have like a pirate steering wheel at the top, complete with the yellow themed band and the green feathers. So I like that. I like it. It's pretty cool. I think what makes this one a little bit cooler than the sword is that steering wheel at the top. So I give this one a 7.5, maybe an 8. Let's give it an 8. I would give it an 8 out of 10. I wish I had some glowing effects, but you can always add that later. All right, so next up we have the Cursed Copper Crossbow, and you can tell right away this one's not from the World Within. You can tell that it has less polygons, and overall it just looks like a weapon from the past. And if you like that kind of nostalgic look, then great, it's gonna be amazing. But if you're kind of like me, looking forward to like new designs and things, then this one's not really up my alley, to be honest. I don't even like the color. I know it's copper and it's supposed to be this color, but I don't know. Like I would never spend 150 tender coins on this one. I can tell you that right now. So for me, this is a solid 2 out of 10. Like this one, you can have this one. Throw it in the I won't say the dumpster because I like World of Warcraft stuff, but yeah, throw it in the dumpster. Yeah. All right, next item, we got the Fell Glade War Glaive. Man, that like rhymes. I feel like I'm just like, you know, mini Eminem over here. But the War Glaives are actually pretty cool. I would say, yeah, even though these are also a reskin from, you know, what I've seen in the past, they don't look as dated as that crossbow. It's also really cool to get more War Glaives because we don't get a lot of them when you're a demon hunter. So any extra War Glaives is cool. It is green themed. It has the green glow. Like I give this one a good 5 out of 10. It's not my favorite, but I like new additions to War Glaives. All right, the Plunderlord's Radiant Hand Cannon actually looks really cool. And at 150 tender coins, which is the same as that crossbow that we saw earlier, I would definitely put my 150 tender coins on this thing rather than that nasty junkyard looking crossbow looking thing. So that's just me. Again, like, this is just my opinion. So if you like that crossbow, I'm sorry, I'm beating that thing up to death. But this Plunderlord's Radiant Hand Cannon is way cool. Look at it. It just looks like a freaking badass weapon. I would definitely get this. This is a solid 7.5 out of 10 for me. All right, next up we got the Plunderlord's Radiant Neck Sever, and I think these actually look really cool. The attention to detail in the cracks and the crevices and everything that you see in between. Wow, that came out wrong. But yes, this is like really, really cool looking. I would definitely get these. At 150, I would snag them up. Like as long as I'm not using up my last bit and I'm not trying to save up for something, then I would definitely grab these. This is definitely like the art style I want to see when I see Plunderlord's Radiant Neck Server. So I'm gonna give this one a solid 8.5 out of 10. And yeah, I feel good with that. 8.5 out of 10. Let's go with that. All right, next we got the Plunderlord's Radiant Rapier, and these are pretty cool because they have little dents and dings and, you know, that sort of thing. I'm going to use different verbiage this time, don't worry. But it has the gold and silver theme with some greenery on there, and I think they're pretty cool. At 150 tenders, if you're a class that uses swords, I would definitely stack these up. I'm going to rank these the same as the Plunderlord's Radiant Neck Sever, so, you know, they're about the same. I would just say different weapons but same style, if that makes sense. All right, we got the classic camo tabard, and honestly it looks very classic. It's not super detailed, it's plain, it has 2 colors, it's 2-toned. I mean, you know, at 100 tender coins, would I get this from the trading post? Probably not. At 50, would I get it? Yeah, probably 50 or 25. So I mean, it is what it is, but it's also, you know, nice to have extra things and options to buy at the trading post. I'm not going to discourage it, but I could say that it would have been cooler to ump this one up just a tiny bit, just like a little bit more flair. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just getting crazy on these, but at 100, I'm going to give this one a solid 3 out of 10. Just not my thing, you know? Just not. Ooh, okay. Now we got the fine gloves of the forest, and right away, these look like Hulk arms to me. They look like, you know, if I'm trying to go for like Hulk arms, in that sense, you know, at 100 tenders, I would probably buy it just to try to get some sort of like Hulk theme going on. But outside of that, these gloves are usually pretty hideous, to be honest. Like, I usually don't like, why are they going up to the armpit? Like, I don't, anyway. Again, this is just my opinion. You know, you might really like this sort of thing. And if you do, more power to you. But at 100 tender coins, would I buy them? I would not buy these if they were a different color. But because they remind me of Hulk arms, I would buy them for 100 tender coins. Let's just put it that way. 6 out of 10. All right, now we got the high grade, which is funny, high grade blade of the 4-bade. And I think it's not high grade. I think it's low grade because I'm pretty sure these come from like, I don't know, man. These are like vanilla swords or something. I'm not, maybe Burning Crusade, I'll give it that. But at 100, I wouldn't get these. Like, I just wouldn't. There's other options in the list that I would get for 100, and this is just not one of them because they're, you know, they look terrible. They just don't look good. If you're looking for a classic look, then yeah, definitely get them. But if you're looking for that new style, or, you know, you're trying to get something newer, honestly, I just, most of the time when I'm trying to do transmogging, unless I'm very specifically trying to get a classic or nostalgic look, I usually avoid the older polygons. That's just me. But there are specific times when I think it looks really cool, especially if you do it with like a very classic look. So I don't want to completely rule it out. And it's not like I'm kind of dogging them a little bit, but I would say, you know, these are probably a 6.5 out of 10 because they're not horrible, but I did say horrible, didn't I? But anyway, yeah, they're not bad. They're just low polygon count. I had to walk through that one in my head. We did it together. Thanks. So these are the jade blade of the 4-bade, which is literally everything that I just said about the high grade blade of the 4-bade, except they're green. So take everything I just said. Maybe, you know, actually don't take everything. Maybe deduct some things because I was really bad on the last one. But yeah, most of the things I said on the previous one added to this one to take away the bad things and add some green, and bada boom. There you go. We got the jade blade of the 4-bade. Yeah. All right, next up we got the Trader's Camo Sarong, and I'm probably butchering that name. I'm not really sure if I'm saying that correctly, but it's just a piece of cloth on your lower half of your body. And there's only a few use cases for this, so I'm not really sure what you would use it for, but it's here. And I think if you're one of those people that really likes to have a diversity in their transmogging, then pick it up for 100 tender coins. I mean, it is what it is. It's just, you know, pretty straightforward. Even like the details on it is just, it's not 3D at all. It's super like flat, and they use like shadows and stuff to make it look like it pops, but it, you know, it's actually pretty flat. But yeah, 5 out of 10. All right, now we got the Swabby's cap coming in at 80 tender coins. And I mean, it's just a green version of a beanie that we've seen before. It's not bad at 80 tender coins. I feel like it's worth it. I would probably snag this up because it's so cheap, and you know, why not? Having an extra beanie, I don't even know when I would use a beanie in World of Warcraft. It just feels weird. Even like to put it in on a pirate outfit, it just feels kind of strange. I would use like a pirate hat or something else. But yeah, beanies are available in this game, and I like beanies in real life, but you know, I think I would just get this just because like it's there, it's available, and it's green. Yeah. 5 out of 10. Next up, we got the Dueler's Camo Shoulder Cape, and I feel like I've seen more of these recently, and this one's not really that much different, just a different color. And this is the kind of thing that you wear when you're gonna wear something really fancy or drink your tea with your pinky out, or you know, something along the lines of that. I wouldn't normally buy this. I would have to be persuaded to buy this. So I would give this one a solid 3 out of 10 just because like, what the hell, but that's just me. All right, now we got the Emerald Drape, and I'm pretty sure this one comes from like Cataclysm or Legion or something in that time frame, but it does look pretty cool even though it's old school. I don't hate all old school things, by the way. I kind of made it seem that way earlier, but this one I think could go well with some green transmogs, and I would probably pick this one up at 50 tenders. So this one's cool. I like the patterns on it. I like the glow. Pretty sweet. I would give it a good 5 out of 10, maybe a 6. Let's give it a 6 out of 10 because it's not that bad. And honestly, I think it's kind of cool. Yeah. All right, we're getting close to the end. We have the simple copper staff, and this one is very copper and very simple, and it is exactly as the name says it is. This one's gonna get a solid 2 out of 10 for me. I'm just not a fan of copper, I guess. Maybe that's just me, but yeah, there's nothing too great about this design. I mean, what the hell? I've seen fishing poles that look better than this, really, like not even lying. But yeah, 2 out of 10. If you like this, pick it up for 50 tenders. That's for me, myself, and I'm gonna go ahead and give it a hard pass. All right, next up we got the amber scale treads, and right out the gate they look kind of copper to me. I know they're amber. I mean, I know, but they look kind of copper, so they're just not gonna get a high rating for me. I'm gonna give them a 3 out of 10 because they look kind of weird and they have a nice point at the end, but the overall design looks kind of funky, and they just gotta have that copper look. So 3 out of 10 for me, and if you like these, great. They're 40 tenders. I would probably pay 10 if I had to buy them, if I had, to buy them. But yeah, 3 out of 10. And finally, we got the emerald scale treads, which are pretty much exactly what we just saw a second ago, except they're not copper, so automatically they get 1 point higher. So I'm gonna give these guys a 4 out of 10. They're not really that much better, but they do look nicer because they're not that nasty looking copper. Yeah, so that's all we got for new items. Let me know what you guys thought. Like, what do you guys think of these? Like, is there any one that you thought was like really worth it or not worth it? Let me know in the comments down below. I appreciate you guys hanging out. If you made it through the entire video, subscribe. It's super free to just help me out and get bigger because, it doesn't cost you anything at all. Like, literally just click that button and you're helping me out. And like the video too if you're really feeling real spunky. Outside of that, catch me out on Twitch because I'm trying to grow on Twitch as well. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.